We are talking about CBS. CBS is a system which is responsible for all the accounting which is done in a computerized form, and this has revolutionized the entire working which is done in the banks, because the entire softwares and everything that they have developed has helped a lot in the development of these areas altogether, right? So when we talk about the CBS, there are different areas where it is used, and I believe most of the working is now totally computerized. Hardly a few things are which are left. There are just the vouchers which are in the physical form right now. That too is required because if we are dealing with the other way round, then we need to know what is happening with our normal books and all. Na, what is happening, where's the documentation for it, where's the authorization of a person. If it's all computerized, how can we recheck it? Another important point. Then what is a computerized accounting? Here comes the first question. It's a manual recording for business transactions. It is basically a system that captures and processes business transactions using a computer and accounting method without the use of financial statements or financial reporting without adherence to accounting standards. Okay, when we talk about this area, computerized accounting is basically the accounting which is totally working using a computer, where we are talking about using it for the business, and it is required. Even not every business can remain in that okay the business cannot remain in that way now. That is what we can do, is that we just follow the manual systems, because manual systems at one point of time might look cool, and but they're time consuming. Once the particular working becomes very exhaustive, when the working becomes very large scale based, so that's a problem which people face, isn't it? Then, what are the physical components of a computer known as software, hardware, peripherals, or instructions? When we talk about the area of physical components of computer, physical components is software, hardware, peripherals, or instructions. When we talk about the physical components, it's the hardware. The ones which can be touched is hardware. है ना? Then, okay, how is computer defined in context of electronic information processing? A device for generating inputs, an information storage device, an electronic information processing device with inputs, software, and high-speed outputs, a general purpose machine for financial reporting. When we talk about electronic information, for electronic information processing, it is very important. I think the answer would be C only. An electronic information processing device with inputs, output software. It's basically a system is what, if we define the computer, we are doing things by, it's a device base. It is based upon inputs. It is based upon the softwares as well as the high speed outputs. Now, if we talk about in computerized accounting, which of the following is a computer language that accounting software may be written in? English, COBOL, or then is accounting script or MATLAB? Among the following, which is a computer language? But I basically, in terms of accounting, not only accounting, there are many different types of computer languages through which the computers understand our commands. Once they understand our commands, they work in a better way. Of course, their working definitely becomes way better, because whatever we are telling them, they can run through the instructions, they can process the data, they can work upon the things in a proper manner, isn't it? So that's what we define under it. So then is it is not in English. It is not even accounting script or math lang. It is actually COBOL. That is COBOL. Okay. Then comes the next one, which is what is the primary advantage of using digital computers. Okay, now when we talk about primary advantage of using digital computers in computerized accounting, continuous data processing, yeah, it can be done. Currently, I think if we talk about it, the banks are now working kind of around the clock. I can make an RD even in the night. I can transfer my money at 3 a.m. in the morning. I can open an account at any point of time at any place. There's no problem in doing that. You know, that is, uh, you don't have a problem in doing any of these things. So we have a continuous data processing. It's a high speed arithmetic operations. Use of COBOL language, of course, it is used, but that's not an advantage, right? This is where the questions gets a little troublesome, because if you are not gone through the particular topics properly, you will feel you don't have to do it. But in this case, you will have to understand. You have to find the question the question, what exactly the question is looking forward to. Then is scientific and mechanical processing. When we talk about the primary advantage of using digital computers, it is we are having high speed arithmetic operations. Okay? So in this case, the correct answer is going to be high speed arithmetic operations. Then what is the key advantage of computerized accounting in terms of generating reports? Limit report options, time consuming report generation, inability to prepare informative reports, or various informative reports can be generated quickly. Again, it is easier. The question could have been a little more difficult. When we talk about the key advantage of computerized accounting, one of the strongest point is we don't have to uh, prepare all the things manually. We put up all the information in the banks, right? We put up all the vital information and whatever we are dealing with. Ultimately, you get the particular point of the working in a simpler manner. So this is possible only because we are following this specific method, that is we are using computers. When we are using computers, it becomes super easy that the organization can work upon their uh, data. They can work upon their overall, not only the data, but systematic way of working. Everything is possible by following this. So there's very informative information can reports can be generated, and those reports are as per the required formats only. That's because they are following it. You know, they just put the data inside it, and when it has the data, there is no problem in working, isn't it? Okay. Then comes the next question. What do you mean? How does a data file? The question says, how does a data file define? How is a data file defined in computerized accounting? How do we define it? How is a data file defined, everyone? Compilation of unrelated data records, then collection of hardware components, then related data records maintained in some pre-arranged order or group of data items related to an object. What would be the answer according to you? When we talk about data file is everything which is in a tabular form and it is connected. So can I say the answer is going to be group of data items which are related? Data file is basically if I have noted down the name of all the bankers who have enrolled in JIIB and who is going to appear in 2024 May attempt. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? Technically, the related data records. Acha, in this case, the answer would be C, which is nearer to the point. Related data records maintained in some pre-arranged order. It is maintained in a pre-arranged order. And now the answer is C. Then comes the next point. What does the term LAN WAN stand for in context of the computerized system? This is again when we're talking about the era of the technical terms of computers, right? This is actually a very simple term though, but go ahead and try it out. It says local and wide area networks, then is linear and wide array network, and logical and wired access network, or limited and widespread access networks. What's the answer according to you? Basically, LAN and WAN is linked with the internet connections overall, na? So that is LAN is basically linked with the wiring and all. So basically, it is helping us the organizations to connect to stay connected with the main servers, to do everything in terms of in the form of the cables and all. So in this case, the correct answer is going to be local and wide area networks. Now comes, what is the real concern regarding the integrity of accounting data within a computerized database? Physical damage, spectacular computer frauds, lack of computer peripherals, or complexity of computer language. Real concern of integrity of accounting. Basically, one of the basic problems that I think everybody is correctly facing is frauds happening. What is happening? You get a random OTP, you get a random call, you pick it up, all the information that is there in your phone is transferred to the other person and they take out the money. I think there are so many frauds that have happened with people who didn't even know. And specifically, they had been targeting old people because they don't have any idea about technologies. And then those who do not have that technology-based idea, they will be asking for OTPs and everything. And then boom, they are just taking the entire money out of their pockets. And that too hard-earned money. And tracing these people down is very difficult at times because their IP addresses and everything is just not traceable. So these are spectacular computer frauds. Matlab, these are not small frauds. What they do is a higher level fraud. And when they do all those higher level frauds, they get a lot of money and they are just vanishing in thin air. Nobody knows where they go. But the people who face it, they face it very badly because the banks do not take the responsibility of that particular task because they are maintaining their security while the person has no clue what has happened with to his account. So in this case, nobody can be held responsible, neither the person nor the bank, but the person who would have done it to recover the money, to find them up, is another level of challenge. That's why it is said that people you need to take care of their belongings. Then they need to be more vigilant. Who are they talking about in terms of their banking information? Right, because if we talk about giving my Aadhaar card number to anybody randomly, what will happen? The person will have the details of so many things altogether, no? The person will have the details of the class of the particular vehicles that we own. The PAN number can be found out. The total overall money can be found out. The property that the person owns or is in her or his name. All those things can be done, no? So basically this is so dangerous. If you do not use your these information properly, then it can be a troublesome situation for both the persons. That means if there's a spouse and the spouse, and if it's related to your parents, then it will be the same manner as well. So technically the very first problem is the spectacular computer frauds, which has made the particular fear coming up, that what is exactly happening in this case. That is, it's a spectacular computer fraud. What is the primary requirement of computerized accounting system to carry out accounting operations? Special stationery, qualified staff, traditional books of accounts, or special programs written in by programmers? What is the primary requirement for computerized accounting system? Special stationery, qualified staff. Then, when we talk about this area, we need to carry out all these things by what? What is the primary requirement? You need special programs which are written by programmers, but they have to be prepared as per what? These have to be prepared as per actual accounting standards which are being followed. Whatever is in practice now, we have to follow all those things all together. Otherwise, there would be a major problem, right? Then comes the next point. Apart from the traditional books of accounts, what other costly items may a computer require in a computerized accounting system? Expensive furniture, then advanced computer language, costly computer peripherals and stationery, or specialized staff training. What would be the answer according to you, everyone? When we talk about this era, other than the traditional books, when you require all these costly things, the problem is that we need a lot of computer peripherals. For example, if I'm taking your classes, what is it that I need? I need a WAN connection. If that is not working, then I need LAN connection, right? Normally in houses we have a LAN connection or we have Wi-Fi, right? And then we have it's if it's a small organization, maybe even 10 to 20 people are involved in it, then even you need the computerized system of accounting, because it is not possible for one particular person to write down the journal, then uh, write down the ledger, and then the trial balance and the further financial statements. It takes a lot of effort to do all that, right? So that is what they had been talking about in terms of the accounting and everything else. This is what we have talked about in the CBS itself. That is costly computer peripherals and stationery. Since we have talked about all these things, this is not true that these organizations where the entire strict computer systems are working, the things are very bad. The things might been exposed to frauds and might have been uh, seen a little out of threats and all, but still the computerized system is better, safer, and has more speed than anything else. Right? Here comes the next question, everyone. Visible now? Okay. Now, what is the next point that we're talking about? We have talked about, acha, what does the software do in case of an entity with operations in the foreign countries regarding currency conversion? What would be the answer according to you, everyone? Manually calculates currency rates or ignores currency foreign currency transactions. It cannot do that. Converts foreign currency to Indian rupee based upon the specified rate of exchange, or skips currency conversion. It cannot. The manual calculation is also not required. It is based upon whatever the current price would be. We are going to consider that current price, and we are going to uh, gather all the information accordingly. That is the current price going on. What should be the spot rate in this case? So the answer is actually C. Converts the foreign currency transaction into Indian rupee. Then, in the case of an entity with branches all over India and abroad, what tasks does the software perform? The only maintains accounts of the heads, ignores branch accounts, maintains accounts of all branches, and head office prepares the consolidated trial balance and the financial statements. It excludes the preparation of financial trial balance, consolidated trial balance. What is going to be the answer according to you, everyone? Just a moment, I think. Now it would be visible in a better way. What's the answer in this case? When we are basically talking about an entity which has branches outside India as well as abroad, and what tasks does the software perform? In this case, what's going to happen is if you put money into the any branch, the entire account wherever you have it, your head office and everything else, it is updated altogether. You know, it technically maintains accounts of all the branches and head office. It prepares a consolidated trial balance as well as a financial statement. It prepares all these things. So in this case, the answer is going to be it maintains accounts of all branches and the head office. It prepares a concerted trial balance and financial statements. Overall, it is preparing all the books of accounts, isn't it? Then what is the one advantage of computerization of bank regarding deposit operations? Increased complexity, time consuming operations, ease and convenience, and dependence on physical records. Which is the advantage of computerization? Computerization has major advantages because of that there is no complexity which has increased, though it is complex on the part of software but not in the working. Time consuming operations, they were earlier. Now the one particular place is updated, the entire books of accounts are done within no time. Then easy and convenience of in operations and accounting for deposit accounts and dependence on physical records. There is no dependence on physical records. So technically, due to these accounts, the organizations can gather a lot of information and they can work in a better way. That is ease and convenience in operations. Next is, how does computerization contribute to the lending function? Increases paperwork, complicated interest charging, facilitates charging interest, monitoring disbursements, delaying inspection of the unit's repayment schedule, and delay of loan disbursements. Lending function doesn't make it a delay, and less paperwork is there because you have everything in the system itself. It does not complicate it. It rather uncomplicates it because your date of issue and then the closing date of that year is automatically noted. You don't have to note down the opening values. It is directly taken from there. It is basically carried forward. So in this case, the answer is C. है ना? Answer is C. Then what has automated clearinghouse functions allowing quicker credit to customers after RTGS introduction? Automated teller machine, check truncation system, traditional check clearing, or manual check clearing. What would be the answer according to you, everyone? What would be the answer? You're talking about automated clearing houses, allowing quicker to the customer to do RTGS. To have RTGS, the best thing is the check truncation system. You can do the RTGS at any point of time without any problem. So, right, it has taken the place of all the checks, and all people have started following this a lot. This has definitely gained more popularity over the period of time, the RTGS, NEFT, as well as IMPS. But the problem is the monetary differences, right? The in terms of RTGS, NEFT, and IMPS. There is no other point of in terms of security. All of these things are now equally secure. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe it. If you like this particular class, then please go ahead and like it as well. And download the app right now, because as early as possible, if you download the app, you can accumulate more coins. And if you want to take any of the Mahapacks or any courses, you can definitely lessen your price by working it on your own. No, I'm sorry. Now let me tell you where to go if you're looking for the courses. Go onto the website, use www.adda247.com, or you can also open up the app. And once you go into this area, click on the area of JIB and CIB. Click on the area of JIB May 2024. This is our Mahapack, and this is our resolution batch. In terms of English medium, it includes the all four subjects, IE and FS, AFM, RPWM, as well as PPP. Then use the code Y541 and apply it, and you will get a point of one that is 5381.87. 0.77. And if you're using the code Y541, then you will get 78% if you're doing this through your app. So technically, if you're using these codes, and this can help you out to get maximum discount. And this is for 6 months. You have got around 400 hours of live classes. Then you have around test series. 281 test series is there, and 150 ebooks are available for your studies. That means if you're planning to practice, you can open up the practice books, ebooks. You will find a lot of questions which are given in the which had come in the examination, and all in the test series it's all given. And in the ebooks there are certain chapters and everything else. So just review that part now as early as possible, and enroll yourself and start preparing right away, because the new year has started and the examination is approaching. So it's way better that to start your preparation way before time. Thank you. We'll be meeting